My name is Rob Whaley. I'm the Vice President of Restaurant and Retail Operations for Sugar Mountain, based here in Seattle. As far as the challenges and how we've adapted to them, I would say the very first challenge is the incredibly fluid environment that COVID has presented. So the challenges change daily, the guidance and some of the rules and regulations change daily. So it's really presented us an opportunity to have to build flexibility into everything that we do, from how we plan our operations, how we plan our menus, how we communicate, and how we measure results in the store. Really at the top of the list for where we've had to be flexible and be able to adapt daily comes to the safety of our guests and our staff, which from the very beginning of this was paramount to us. And those really center around a few key areas. The first is cleanliness and sanitation. And from the very beginning, that was a challenge for us of how we were going to completely rethink our cleaning procedures, our sanitation procedures in ways that we've never thought of before, both in our normal traditional day-to-day operations and kind of how we've adapted new technology and touch screens and customer-facing touch screens that we need to sanitize in between each transaction. As we move through this fluid environment with the changes coming at us very quickly, it became apparent early that we were going to need to rethink technology in everything from how a guest could order in a contactless way to how we could deliver in a contactless way, how we could adapt new forms of payment for our guests, how we could communicate differently with our guests, as well as how we could adopt technology that we could then track and monitor for things like our daily health checks, where every team member upon entry to our store gets a temperature check and then a health check where they answer a series of questions to ensure that they're safe and that they're going to be able to keep our guests and our fellow team members safe. For both our guests and our staff, it was very important that as we put these measures in, that we were explicit about them. We have signs in our stores that tell our guests all the steps that we're taking. We have those steps posted in our team member areas as well. So we've been very explicit about explaining everything that we're doing, why we're doing it, how it aligns with, for instance, the CDC guidelines or our local health department guidelines, why we feel it's important, and how we're going to maintain it. And then the other thing is that we've made a real effort to be visible with what we do. So, for instance, as we sanitize the touch screens that our guests touch in each transaction, we're very deliberate about making sure that we do it, that they see us do it, that we're willing to pause in between customers so that what we're doing is not only explicit in a sign at the door, but that they visually see us doing it. One of the things that we learned early on was that the key to success was going to be able to do more with less. And what I mean by that is, whether it was because of social distancing requirements on our team or a change to a new business level, we had to learn to be more efficient with our staff and to get more done with less folks. And that included rethinking everything within our business, from equipment, finding equipment that may enable us to be more efficient, technologies that allow us to be more efficient, specifically with customer ordering and payment that have really revolutionized our business. And coming out of this, the real lesson is that we could have been doing more with less previous. And coming out of this, we're already thinking about when our business returns to levels that we had pre-COVID, how are we going to do it more efficiently? How are we going to take the lessons that we've learned here and be able to take the view that we've been forced to take of our business and have it extend forward? And I think that technology is going to be at the forefront of that. We have adopted technology that we never thought that we would do. We thought that it would be an impediment in between what we provide and our guests, and it's proven to not be. And so now it's going to force us to adopt technology and think about technology different, being open-minded to what's out there and really looking at efficiencies both for our guests and for our staff. So as we look at the future post-COVID of full-service restaurants, I really believe that the guest experience is going to have technology built in at every level that makes it more convenient for them and more efficient for the restaurant. Everything from the very beginning when they go to choose a restaurant and make a reservation to their experience in the restaurant with menus and with payment. And I think there are efficiencies that everyone is learning through this process that have proven to be beneficial for the guests, and coming out of this are going to be beneficial for the businesses. I think it's going to help the whole experience be a little faster, a little cleaner, have an easier impact on the environment without the printing of menus and the printing of checks, and be safer and more efficient all the way around.